Okay, so you're getting ready for an interview to be an official veterinarian.
Huge.
Right. Big deal. And we've got all these RoleCatcher resources, career guides, interview guides, even AI tools
Yeah.
to help you totally crush this thing.
I think it's really interesting how RoleCatcher focuses on more than just the interview itself.
Yeah.
They really help you understand the entire career path.
Totally.
So you can go into that interview with confidence.
Absolutely.
Knowing what questions to expect and where this role could actually lead you.
For sure. For sure. So before we get into the interview questions, though,
Okay.
let's just answer the basic one.
Yeah.
What is an official veterinarian?
Right.
It's not just your regular vet at the clinic, is it?
No, it's a position that comes with a lot of authority because you're not just dealing with like individual animals.
Right.
You're dealing with these really big picture issues.
Yeah.
So we're talking about things like disease eradication programs,
Wow.
food safety inspections, even regulating the international movement of animals.
So high stakes. No wonder these interviews are so tough.
Right.
Well, speaking of which,
Okay.
RoleCatcher gave us 10 common interview questions we can really dive into.
Perfect.
Let's start with this one. Can you describe your experience working as a veterinarian?
Okay.
I mean, it seems simple, but I bet they're looking for a lot in the answer.
Yeah. This is your time to really showcase your skills and your experience.
Okay.
Don't just list out your previous jobs.
Yeah.
Talk about the specific challenges you faced,
Right.
the decisions that you made,
I see.
and the positive impact you've had on animal health and even public safety.
Okay, so for example,
Yeah.
if you worked on a disease outbreak,
Yes.
don't just say, I helped contain it.
Right.
You know, go into detail about like the strategies you used,
Exactly.
who you worked with, what you learned from that experience.
Yeah. And whenever possible, try to quantify those achievements.
Okay.
So like, did you reduce the infection rate by a certain percentage? Did you implement a new protocol that improved efficiency?
Right.
Those details make your experience come to life
I like it.
and show that you can make a real difference.
Okay, cool. So let's go to another one that I think kind of trips people up.
Okay.
What inspired you to become an official veterinarian? I bet they're looking for more than I love animals, right?
Oh, definitely.
Right.
This question is all about you revealing your motivations
Yeah.
and your values.
Okay.
Why do you want to go beyond just treating individual animals
Right.
and focus on this bigger picture of animal health and well-being?
So maybe talk about being drawn to the ethical challenges of the role.
Exactly.
The need to make these tough decisions independently,
Yes.
and the desire to have a bigger impact.
You can even mention some specific experiences that fueled your passion for this field.
Okay.
So was there like a particular disease outbreak that left a mark on you? Was there a mentor who inspired you?
Right.
Like connecting those dots?
Yeah.
It shows the interviewer the depth of your commitment.
I loved. Okay, so another kind of tricky one.
Right.
How do you ensure that animal welfare is a top priority in your work? This feels like a bit of a minefield,
Yeah.
balancing compassion
Right.
with professional competence.
It's a very delicate balance.
Yeah.
You want to show that you genuinely care for animals, but also that you understand the regulations and ethical framework that guides you.
It's not enough to just say, I love animals.
No.
You need to back it up
You need to back it up.
with some concrete actions.
Absolutely. Think about specific examples from your career
Yep.
where you went above and beyond to ensure animal welfare.
Okay.
So did you introduce new protocols for pain management?
Yeah.
Did you advocate for better living conditions for the animals under your care?
And I'm sure they're also looking to see if you can make tough decisions when necessary,
Of course.
right? Like, what if an animal's welfare kind of clashes with other priorities,
Right.
like public health
Yes.
or economic considerations?
Oh, God.
Like, could you talk about a time you had to make a tough call?
That's a great point. They want to see that you can think critically
Yeah.
and make informed decisions in these complex situations.
Yeah.
You have to show a nuanced understanding of animal welfare,
Great.
but within the context of being an official veterinarian.
Makes sense. Okay, how about this one?
Okay.
Can you describe your experience with food safety regulations? I feel like this question is about showcasing your meticulousness
It is.
and attention to detail.
Yes. Official veterinarians play a really vital role
Yeah.
in ensuring the safety of our food supply.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So they're looking for someone who understands the regulations inside and out
Right.
and has a proven track record of complying with them.
So this seems like the time to highlight certifications
Yes.
or specialized training that you have
Absolutely.
in food safety.
But don't just list the regulations,
Yeah.
Explain how you've actually applied them in real-world situations.
Okay.
So have you conducted food safety inspections?
Gotcha.
Have you implemented traceability systems?
Yeah.
Have you trained others on food handling protocols?
I see.
Things like that.
Okay. And, we're talking about regulations and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, veterinary medicine is constantly evolving.
Right.
So how would you answer the question?
Okay.
How do you stay current on developments in veterinary medicine?
That's where your commitment to continuous learning really comes in.
Okay.
So mention specific journals you read, conferences you attend,
Yeah.
professional organizations you belong to.
Okay.
Don't forget about online resources as well.
Oh, right.
You need to demonstrate that you're actively keeping your knowledge up to date.
And that's where RoleCatcher's AI comes in.
Yes.
Right? They have these tools.
As credible tools.
That can help you tailor your answers for specific job roles.
I know.
Like, imagine getting feedback on your interview responses from AI.
It's amazing how technology is reshaping the job search process.
For sure.
But even with AI's help,
Yeah.
the core message remains the same.
Yeah.
Demonstrate your passion,
Yeah.
your expertise,
Yeah.
and your commitment to making a real difference in this world of animal health and public safety.
Okay, cool. So this next one seemed like a real test of your problem-solving skills.
All right.
How do you handle difficult or challenging situations in your work? It's got to be less about, like,
Right.
veterinary procedures and more about interpersonal skill.
Exactly.
And navigating complex scenarios.
They're trying to gauge your emotional intelligence
Okay.
and your ability to remain calm and effective under pressure.
So highlight your communication skills.
Exactly.
Your conflict resolution strategies.
Yeah.
Your decision-making abilities.
So instead of saying, I stay calm under pressure,
Right.
share a specific example of a tough situation you faced and how you successfully handled it.
Like a time you dealt with a difficult client.
Yes.
Or mediated disagreement between colleagues.
Perfect. Walk them through your thought process.
Okay.
How did you assess the situation?
Gotcha.
What steps did you take to address it?
Right.
What was the outcome?
I like it. And if it involved leading a team through a challenge,
Yes.
definitely highlight your leadership skills there.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So let's get into one that I think is, pretty key here.
Yeah.
Can you describe your experience with animal disease control and eradication programs? I mean, this feels like a high-stakes area.
It is.
Where your expertise and strategic thinking really come in.
You're absolutely right. This is all about showcasing your understanding
Yeah.
of the complexities of managing animal diseases.
Right.
They want to hear about your ability to lead and implement effective control and eradication programs.
So they'll want specific examples
Yes.
of programs you've been involved with,
Of course.
your roles, and the results you achieved.
Be prepared to discuss the strategies you implemented,
Okay.
who you collaborated with, the challenges you overcame, and the lessons you learned along the way.
It's like showcasing your ability to think on your feet.
Yes.
Like, did you come up with innovative approaches?
Yes.
Did you contribute to any breakthroughs in disease control?
Right.
Were you involved in high-profile outbreaks?
Exactly.
Or international collaborations?
This is your chance to highlight your expertise.
Okay.
And your ability to think strategically and act decisively when faced with complex challenges.
Awesome. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit here.
Right.
And talk about teamwork.
Okay.
How would you answer this question? How do you ensure that your team is working effectively and efficiently? This one seems to be about your leadership style.
Yes, it is.
And your ability to motivate and manage a team.
Here you're going to showcase your ability to build strong teams,
Well,
delegate effectively, create a collaborative and productive work environment.
so they're probably looking for examples of how you've built successful teams in the past.
Exactly.
Like, what strategies did you use to foster communication and collaboration? How did you motivate your team members?
Yes.
And make sure everyone was working towards the same goals.
Think about your approach to conflict resolution, too.
What?
How do you handle disagreements or challenging personalities within the team?
Gotcha. And what about delegation? Like, how do you figure out your team members' strengths and weaknesses?
Right.
To assign tasks appropriately, do you make sure to give clear instructions and offer support when needed?
They want to see that you're a strong leader who can inspire and guide a team to reach its full potential.
Okay, I like that. So now let's get into some of the more ethically challenging aspects of being an official veterinarian.
Okay.
The question, can you describe a time when you had to make a difficult ethical decision? Really gets to the heart of that.
This is where you showcase your moral compass.
Yeah.
And your ability to navigate complex ethical dilemmas with sound judgment and compassion.
So it's not just about describing the situation.
Right.
It's about explaining how you arrived at your decision.
Exactly.
How did you weigh the competing values and interests at play?
Yes.
What factors did you consider?
Be prepared to discuss the potential consequences of your decision and explain how you ultimately determined the most ethical course of action.
Did you talk to anyone else about it?
Yes.
Did you consult any ethical codes?
Right.
Or professional organizations?
Exactly. Those details can demonstrate your commitment to making informed and ethical decisions.
So this question is all about showing your integrity.
Yes.
And your ability to handle the complex ethical challenges.
It comes with the territory.
Of the job.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay, last question here.
Okay.
Seems pretty straightforward. How do you ensure that you are meeting regulatory requirements in your work? It feels like it's about demonstrating your meticulousness and your dedication to upholding the highest standards.
This question is about showing your understanding of the rules and regulations that govern your work and your commitment to compliance.
Yeah.
They want to see that you take this seriously and that you have systems in place to make sure you're always following the rules.
So be ready to discuss, your knowledge of the regulations.
Yes.
How do you keep up to date on any changes or updates?
Think about your system for tracking deadlines.
Okay.
And making sure that all the necessary paperwork is filed correctly.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to deal with a situation where regulations weren't being followed?
Right.
And if so, how did you handle it?
It's all about highlighting your meticulousness.
Exactly.
Your attention to detail.
Yes.
And your commitment to upholding, these high standards.
Yeah, precisely. And before we move on, I think it's worth circling back to some of those career insights that RoleCatcher provides.
Yeah.
They have this fantastic breakdown of the career path.
I know, I saw that.
From veterinary assistant all the way up to official veterinarian.
That's cool.
It's really eye-opening to see how those responsibilities evolve as you move up that ladder.
They even provide average salaries.
Yes.
And training requirements for each stage.
I think that's really helpful.
Which I think is super helpful.
For setting those realistic expectations and figuring out where you want to go in your career.
It gives you a clear picture of where this can take you.
Absolutely.
Both professionally and financially.
And, speaking of setting yourself up for success, RoleCatcher's AI tools can be incredibly helpful in that process.
Their CV builder is so cool.
It's amazing.
You can upload your CV
Yeah.
And have it analyzed against tons of job descriptions.
In seconds.
In seconds.
It's like having this super powered research assistant.
It's like magic.
Helping you tailor your CV for specific roles.
Right.
And then their co-pilot AI is equally impressive.
Oh, tell me about this.
So you can actually practice your interview answers with Copilot and get feedback on everything.
What?
From content and delivery to even your body language.
So it's like a virtual mock interview.
Exactly.
But with personalized feedback based on the job.
Based on the specific job.
I love that.
It can even analyze your tone of voice and facial expressions.
Get out.
Helping you come across as confident and professional.
That's amazing.
And the best part is you can record your practice sessions.
Oh, wow.
And review them later to see how you're improving.
That's so cool. It's like having this behind-the-scenes look
I know.
at your interview performance.
It's invaluable.
Which is invaluable.
Yeah.
But what about the CV builder?
Okay.
How does that work with Copilot?
They work hand in hand.
Okay.
So the CV builder analyzes your CV against hundreds of job descriptions.
Right.
Including those for official veterinarian roles.
Okay.
Highlighting areas for improvement.
Gotcha.
Suggesting keywords and phrases to make your application stand out.
Yeah.
Then you can use Copilot to practice talking about those experiences in your interview.
Nice.
So you're ensuring that you're highlighting the skills and achievements that matter most to potential employers.
So it's this powerful combination.
It is.
That you're going into this interview fully equipped.
Absolutely.
Knowing what to expect and how to present yourself.
It's all about taking the guesswork out of the process.
Yeah.
And empowering you to showcase your skills and experience with confidence.
Okay, so we've covered these key interview questions.
We have.
And we've explored how RoleCatcher's AI can help you prepare.
Right.
But before we wrap up,
okay,
I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Right.
The importance of continuous learning throughout your career.
It is so crucial.
As an official veterinarian.
This field is constantly evolving.
Yep.
New discoveries, technologies, and challenges are emerging all the time.
For sure.
So staying ahead of the curve requires a real commitment to lifelong learning.
So what are some ways
Okay.
that official veterinarians can stay current?
Well, attending conferences is a fantastic way to network with colleagues and learn about the latest research.
Makes sense. What about subscribing to industry journals?
Yes.
And online publications?
Absolutely. Keep you informed about new regulations and trends.
What about professional development courses and workshops?
Those are valuable too. They provide opportunities to deep dive into specific topics and develop new skills.
Are there any others?
And don't underestimate the value of mentoring
interesting.
junior colleagues.
Okay.
Sharing your knowledge and experience is a great way to solidify your own understanding and contribute to the growth of the profession.
So it's a win-win.
It is.
You learn by teaching.
Exactly.
And you're helping others.
You're helping others along the way.
That's awesome. Now, RoleCatcher's Career Guide. Also mentioned all these specializations within the field.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about those?
Of course. So while all official veterinarians share a core set of responsibilities related to animal health and public safety, there are opportunities to really focus on specific areas of interest.
Cool.
For example, some official veterinarians specialize in food safety. So they work closely with food processing plants and regulatory agencies to ensure the safety of our food supply.
So if someone's really passionate about food safety, they could build their whole career around that.
Exactly.
Within this broader field.
Others might specialize in disease control. Working on the front lines to prevent and manage those outbreaks of animal diseases.
Huge.
It's huge. This might involve
conducting surveillance, implementing control measures, or developing vaccination programs.
And what about the international movement of animals?
Yes.
RoleCatcher mentioned that as a potential focus too.
Yes, there are official veterinarians who specialize in regulating the import and export of animals. Ensuring that they meet health and welfare standards. And minimizing the risk of spreading diseases across borders.
That's a big one.
It is.
Yeah.
This is a particularly dynamic and challenging area.
Right.
Requiring expertise in international regulations.
Yeah.
And a deep understanding of global animal health issues.
Wow, there's so many different paths
there are.
you can take within this field.
Yes. It's inspiring to see.
I know, it's really cool.
The diverse opportunities available to those who are passionate about animal health and public safety.
It's a career that lets you make a real difference.
It really does.
And the variety means you can find a niche that aligns with your interests and values. Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered so much today.
I know.
From those challenging interview questions to exploring the career paths and specializations available to official veterinarians.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap up, I want to leave our listener with one final thought.
All right. I'm all ears.
You know, through this whole deep dive,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about the personal qualities
Okay.
that make someone successful in this role. It's not just technical skills and knowledge. It's about having a certain mindset and a deep commitment
Absolutely.
to the well-being of animals and the public.
I couldn't agree more.
So what are your thoughts on that?
To thrive as an official veterinarian, you need to be a lifelong learner.
Okay.
You need to constantly seek out new knowledge and adapt to the ever-changing landscape of animal health.
For sure.
You need to be a problem solver.
Yeah.
Able to think critically and make sound judgments. Right?
In really complex situations.
It's a tough job.
And perhaps most importantly, you need to be passionate about your work.
Yeah.
You have to be driven by a genuine desire to make a positive impact on the world.
I love that being an official veterinarian is more than just a job. It's a calling.
It's a calling.
And for those who feel that calling, it's a career path that offers incredible rewards.
Yes.
Both personally and professionally.
It does.
Okay, so we're back.
Right.
And ready to dive into these RoleCatcher AI tools.
Yes, they sound like real game changers. for interview prep.
For sure. So tell me more about how this Copilot AI works.
Okay, so imagine this. You're prepping for an interview, feeling a bit nervous, wondering if you're hitting all the right points. RoleCatcher's Copilot AI is like having a personal coach right there with you, giving you feedback in real time.
Okay, I'm intrigued. It's super user-friendly, so you upload the job description for the official veterinarian role, and Copilot will analyze it and identify the key skills and experiences that the employer is actually looking for.
Yep.
Then you can practice answering common interview questions, and Copilot will provide feedback on your responses, everything from content to delivery to even your body language.
So it's like having a virtual mock interview.
Exactly.
But with personalized feedback based on the job.
Based on the specific job that you're applying for.
That's pretty cool.
It can even analyze your tone of voice.
What?
And facial expressions, helping you come across as confident and professional.
That's amazing.
And here's the best part. You can record your practice sessions.
Oh, wow.
And then review them later to see how you're improving.
That is so cool. It's like having this behind-the-scenes look.
It's invaluable.
At your interview performance, which is invaluable.
Yeah.
But what about the CV builder?
Okay.
How does that work with Copilot?
They work hand in hand. So the CV builder will analyze your CV against hundreds of job descriptions,
right,
including those for official veterinarian roles.
Okay.
It'll highlight areas for improvement.
Gotcha.
And even suggest keywords and phrases to make your application stand out.
Right.
Then you can use Copilot to practice talking about those experiences in your interview.
Oh, nice.
So you're ensuring that you're highlighting the skills and achievements that matter most to potential employers.
So you're going into this interview fully prepared?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know exactly what to expect and how to present yourself in the best possible light.
That's a really powerful combination.
It is.
Okay, so we've covered these key interview questions.
Yeah.
We've talked about how RoleCatcher's AI can really help you prepare.
We have.
But before we wrap up,
I
want to go back to something we talked about earlier.
Right.
The importance of continuous learning.
Yes.
Throughout your career as an official veterinarian.
This field is constantly evolving with new discoveries and technologies and challenges.
For sure.
So staying ahead of the curve really requires a commitment to lifelong learning.
Absolutely. So what are some ways that official veterinarians can ensure they're staying current?
Well, attending conferences is a great way to network with colleagues and learn about the latest research.
Makes sense. What about subscribing to industry journals and publications?
Absolutely. That'll keep you informed about new regulations and trends.
Okay, cool. What about professional development courses and workshops?
Those are really valuable, too. They give you the opportunity to deep dive into specific topics and develop new skills.
What else? Are there any others?
Don't underestimate the value of mentoring junior colleagues.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Sharing your knowledge and experience is a great way to solidify your own understanding and contribute to the growth of the profession.
So it's like a win-win.
Exactly.
You learn by teaching and you're helping others along the way.
And you're helping others along the way.
That's awesome. Now, RoleCatcher's career guide.
Yeah.
Also mentioned all these different specializations.
It did.
Within the official veterinarian field.
Right.
Can you tell us a bit more about those?
Sure. So while all official veterinarians share a core set of responsibilities related to animal health and public safety, there are opportunities to focus on specific areas of interest.
Okay.
So, for example, some official veterinarians might specialize in food safety.
Yep.
They work closely with food processing plants and regulatory agencies to ensure the safety of our food supply.
So if someone is super passionate about food safety, they could potentially build their whole career around that.
Absolutely.
Within this broader field.
Exactly. Others might specialize in disease control.
Okay.
So they're working on the front lines to prevent and manage outbreaks of animal diseases.
Wow, that's huge.
It is a big one. It might involve things like conducting surveillance, implementing control measures, or developing vaccination programs.
Wow. And what about the international movement of animals?
Yeah.
RoleCatcher mentioned that as a potential area of focus, too.
Yes. There are official veterinarians who specialize in regulating the import and export of animals.
Right.
Making sure that they meet health and welfare standards.
Yeah.
And minimizing the risk of spreading diseases across borders.
That's a big one.
It is a big responsibility.
For sure.
And it's a really dynamic and challenging area.
Yeah.
Requiring expertise in international regulations and a deep understanding of global animal health issues.
Wow. There are so many different paths.
I know. It's really cool.
That you can take within this field.
It is.
It's inspiring to see all the diverse opportunities available to those who are passionate about animal health and public safety.
It's a career that allows you to make a real difference.
For sure.
And the variety within the field means you can really find a niche that aligns with your interests and your values.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered so much ground today.
We have.
Dissecting these interview questions, exploring those different career paths, the specializations available to official veterinarians.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap up,
I
want to touch on one final thought.
All right. What's on your mind?
Throughout this whole deep dive, I've been thinking about the personal qualities that make someone successful in this role. It's not just technical skills and knowledge. It's about having the right mindset and a deep commitment to the well-being of animals and the public. So what are your thoughts on that?
You're absolutely right. To thrive as an official veterinarian, you need to be a lifelong learner. You need to be constantly seeking out new knowledge and adapting to this ever-changing landscape of animal health. You need to be a problem solver, able to think critically and make good judgments in complex situations. And perhaps most importantly, you need to be passionate about this work, driven by a genuine desire to make a positive impact on the world.
I love that it's clear that being an official veterinarian is more than just a job, it's a calling.
It really is. You know, it really is. And going back to RoleCatcher's resources, I'm struck by how they emphasize the ethical dimension of this role.
It's not just about knowing the science.
Right.
It's about navigating these gray areas.
Yes.
Making tough decisions
Exactly.
that impact, animals and people.
And that's something you can really highlight in your interview.
Okay.
Remember that question about a time you had to make a difficult ethical decision?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to share a real example.
Okay.
That shows your integrity and your commitment to doing what's right, even when it's hard.
And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You know, those personal qualities.
Right.
That make someone successful as an official veterinarian.
Exactly.
Like integrity, compassion, a strong moral compass.
Those are so important.
All so important.
And I think it's worth mentioning that RoleCatcher's AI tools can help you refine how you present those qualities in the interview.
Interesting.
So Copilot can actually analyze your responses and help you strike that balance between showcasing your technical expertise, but also highlighting those personal attributes that make you a good fit.
Gotcha.
For the role.
So Copilot's helping you craft your story
yes.
in a way that resonates with the organization?
Exactly. And that can make a huge difference in how you come across.
For sure.
Okay.
Okay, well, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of official veterinarians, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
We've talked about the skills, the knowledge, the interview prep.
Right.
But it really comes down to passion.
It does.
You know, if you're passionate about animal health and public safety,
yes,
it'll shine through in everything you do.
Absolutely. From your CV to your interview responses.
To your work.
To your work once you land the job.
It's that passion that fuels that commitment.
To continuous learning.
To pushing yourself.
Absolutely.
And to making a real difference.
Couldn't agree more.
So to our listener out there who's dreaming of becoming an official veterinarian, we say, embrace that passion.
Absolutely.
Use those RoleCatcher resources to prepare yourself and go after your dream.
Go get it.
We believe in you. And that's a wrap on this deep dive.
That's a wrap.
We hope you found it helpful, informative, and inspiring. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.